So, Battle, that's where I'm storing the beer. Make sure it's someplace where the temperature's pretty stable and where it's out of the way. But we'll go ahead and check it in a week or two. We'll see what it's like. Let's go ahead and take a gravity reading. I removed the hydrolock, and I have a hydrometer that I washed and sanitized. Take the lid off. We got some krausen, that's good. It's fermenting. Okay, Battle, it's been 2 weeks today, and it was 2 days ago that I took a secondary gravity reading. It was 1.014. So let's go ahead and do another gravity reading to see if we're finished fermenting. If it's a little bit lower, then you want to give it another week, because that means it's still fermenting, because once you bottle it, you add sugar and that revitalizes the yeast. But if it hasn't completely fermented, then you can get gusher bottles. I think it's 1.014. This is a pretty simple extract kit, so I think I'll call it, and then we can bottle it. I'm going to add the priming sugar, give it a little bit of a stir, and then I'm going to commence bottling. So let's see if this is going to work. You can see the krausen at the top of the fermenter. I didn't put it in a secondary, which it's going to be a little bit hazy, but that's okay. If you put your beer in a secondary, make sure that your primary fermentation is completely done before you transfer it. See, that first bottle had a lot of turb in it, but these ones aren't so bad. You know, this beer isn't going to make you go blind or anything. There are a lot of stories out there about that happening if you brew your own alcohol, or distill it, I suppose, if it's spirits. But out of all the brewing I've ever done, I've never had anything that's hateful. There we go, the first 6-pack. This kit did come with little sticky labels, and you can also get labels custom made out there, which I don't have much homebrew right now saved up. Generally what I do is I will save a 6-pack for the next holiday. I think the oldest stuff I have is from not even a year old. We'll see if this turns out. Oh, almost overflowed. What would be horrible would be to spill the beer. I don't think that would be forgivable. There we go, another 6-pack. So I used 5.4 ounces of brown sugar to prime this for 5 gallons. So that is 2.8 volumes of CO2, and I had charged ciders before at that amount, and they turn out nice and bubbly. I actually did a wine kit for the first time, a little bit more expensive than a beer kit, and it's tasty. I had thought to myself, oh, well, I'll go ahead and charge it with priming sugar, but I'm glad I didn't, because it had sorbates in it to kill the fermentation. You know, because I suppose for a wine you want it still. It's tasty enough. You know, it's home brewed, even though it was a easy to do kit. You know, sort of like the box wine that you can get at the grocery store. This is the middle of the fermenter, so these are the best bottles right here. Actually, I guess I should go ahead and check. Like I said, these bottles are a little bit more than a pint, or 16 ounces. In fact, I think I have 2 or 3 saved for the holidays. Either the holiday coming up at the end of summer or any of the holidays are a good occasion for homebrew. Don't need a special occasion for homebrew. Just make sure that you drink responsibly. So there's 18 bottles, the pint each, so let's see where our fermenter's at. We still got over 2 gallons. So time to start on the short bottles. Gotten to the point where I only like to use these short ones unless it's a specialty bottle, like those 750 milliliter wine style bottles that take a cork. I have plenty of those. And I guess it was a few months ago I actually had to cull all the different bottles I had. Oh, buddy. Oh man, sacrilege. Well, that's what happens. You need to pay attention, old 64. Sinful. I was busy yakking. I took a tour of my favorite brewery up there in Kansas City, where I grew up. It's amazing to see how the professionals do their brews. Kudos to you, professional brewers out there. I don't know if you'll ever see this. Don't drink beer from a can or a bottle if you can avoid it. It should be decanted into the proper glass. But to each his own. You know, there are guys that get all up in arms about classic cars done a certain way that they don't like, but I always think, well, at least it hasn't been sent to the crusher. It's still on the road. And you know, it's not your car, so the owner can do whatever they want with it. Sort of the same way for beer, I guess. Different styles, different strokes for different folks, so. Let's see where we're at. No, I don't even think there's enough for another bottle. I think I'm just going to pour myself the rest. I can smell the yeast. Uh-oh. Is that all that I'm going to get? I think it clogged the valve with all the sediment in the bottom. So that's a little bit, enough to taste. I can taste the lemon. And there's a lot of turb in that, a lot of sediment. But it's just to taste it, just to try. Of course, it's room temperature. That last cap went on crooked. So let's try that again. Last one for the day. There we go. So, battle, there we go. I got it bottled. Let's give it a few weeks and then we'll come back and see you in a while. Check it out, battle. Here's the lemon radler. I'd say it looks pretty good. There's turb on the bottom. So let's go ahead and give it a try. Let's list it and make sure it doesn't gush. Hopefully I didn't overprime it. Nope, that's just about perfect. I have my Oldsmobile Quarter Century Club glass that I got from the old man. So let's go ahead and properly decant it. You don't want to pour it too fast. Daggum. Central trimmer for you. It's about perfect though. All right, let's give it a taste. Smells pretty sweet. Definitely refreshing. I hope you learned a little bit from my video. I'm going to go ahead and post some shorts on TikTok because I figure if I wanted to keep doing this YouTube, I should probably go ahead and play the game, as they say. So thanks for signing in, and I'll see you next time. Later, Battle.